Okay, last month I released the 1.2 version of Evolve and you guys loved it. The most appreciated feature was this adaptive theming where you could just fetch the colors of the wallpaper and apply it to your theme. It worked for GTK 3, 4 and even the GNOME shell. This feature was added in the 1.2.1 release of Evolve, which was made public through GitHub. What I currently have installed in this system is actually the 1.2.4 version. It was actually a Patreon only release and you all commented so many things. I went through all of them, saw feature requests, feedbacks and implemented them in the release of Evolve version 1.3. So do comment down below what you think about this release and what are the features you want in the next release, and be sure I will implement them for you inside the release of Evolve. If you want to support this project, go to Patreon and check it out, and you will also get access to alpha releases of Evolve along with auto install scripts for the theming videos I release. Okay, let's get going. This is the Evolve version 1.2. I've not installed it, it's just present over here to just show you how things are looking like. First of all, we have this GTK 3 window that is used in Evolve. It's actually used by Flutter, so I don't really know how to get rid of it. So I completely scraped and removed the window borders and started using my own window borders in the next releases of Evolve. Here I have the 1.3 release of Evolve. Although it's just written to be 1.2.5, it's actually the 1.3 release because we have already finalized all the features that are going to be released for this. Okay, I will just open it in terminal and install it by running install.sh. So install.sh and run. Done. Now I can just start it from dash. The first thing you might have noticed already is the smooth startup animation of Evolve. Previously it used to start like any other application and there was a slight jitter in the starting animation. So let me just show you. It actually took time to fetch the theme and apply it to the app. So this is the version 1.2. We already have a running instance of this. So I'll just launch it. This is the amount of time Evolve took while launching in the version 1.2 release. It's a significant amount of time, and also the launching theme did not match the applied theme. If we launch the current release of Evolve, it looks different. This is the launch animation. So let me just show you quickly the changes. First of all, the window style is changed. It's now using kind of a GTK 4 like window, although it's not perfect, mainly because I don't know how you can implement that properly in Flutter, because if by default it's using the GTK 3 window styles. Here we have Evolve, which is not again using GTK 4, but it's kind of mimicking the GTK 4 looks for as of now. The user interface is not our goal as of now, so yeah. Okay, you might have also noticed this card glitch which existed in the 1.2 release of Evolve, which is continuously swapping the cards even if you don't have any premium version of 80 plus theme installed. That does not happen in the version 3. It automatically detects that you don't have any installed themes, so it does not do this thing. Okay, and next thing you will notice, you don't have the adaptive colors option in the 1.3. It's not that adaptive colors are no more supported. It's actually supported, but you don't get it for everything. For example, Advaita, you cannot edit Advaita, as you all know already. So if we go and try to edit, it shows the relevant error message over here, and if you can't edit the colors of Advaita, you can't apply adaptive colors because it depends on the same code underneath. So if I click on adaptive colors, nothing is happening, and as you can see, it shows the error message. If I right click and toggle adaptive mode, it crashes the entire application. That is not possible in the version 1.3. You actually don't get that option anymore. I already have some themes installed, so I'll just show you. Let me close this and reopen because the application crashed. Here we have the version 1.2 release. Another thing you might have noticed is the menu style has been changed. Previously you used to get this menu style, right now you get this. It's using the same blurs and all, but I think the current version is much more fluid in showing the blur and it looks better. The animation is a bit glitchy in the previous version. Right now it has been solved properly and it fades in smoothly. The same goes for the tooltips. For example, here it appears smoothly right now. Previously it used to have this glitch because of the drop shadow. I removed that drop shadow because it was causing issues, and right now you just get a nice little border in order to separate it. Same goes for this one. Looks much better. And even the message box are changed right now. So if I just try to edit this, it smoothly shows the message box right now. Looks much better. Even the blur is now animated behind it, so it looks nicer. so it just blurs in. Now in the previous version I included another tab which is the settings page, and there you used to get this. That is the app specific settings page. It did not affect the system but changed some of the looks for the app. Right now you get the same tab but it looks more close to GNOME's settings. You can just turn on respect GNOME UI and it will try to use GNOME fonts and also try to change the theme according to the GNOME layout. It's again, the user interface is not our target as of now, but these are the features slowly getting implemented to make the UI better. I'm pretty sure by 1.4 release of Evolve, if I don't have a lot of new features to add up, then I will surely work on the user interface and completely change it according to the GNOME GTK4 standards. Although default version of this will still exist, so you can just turn off the respect GNOME UI and you will get this. Also, you might have noticed that when I turn on the GNOME UI, it actually removes the about page. You get the about page over here. So if I click about, it shows this in the same style. Again, it does not have the same look as of now. I'm pretty sure there needs to be work done because it looks like a cheap knockoff of the about page of GNOME. So I'm not really proud of it. Okay, next we have toggle animation, which is going to turn off the animation over here. So as you can see, it turns off the animation. I noticed just now it doesn't turn off the animation for this, so I have to work on that. Another thing that I'm going to show you is with the GNOME user interface turned on, you actually lose access to all the blur because GTK doesn't have much of blur in their system. Also, about boxes of GTK don't have blur. So as you can see, it does not have any of the blur over here. Even in this one, which is the tooltip, you don't get the blurs anymore. Okay, let's turn off respect GNOME UI. And also let's turn off this. Okay, turn on the animations. Next we have apply Flatpak theme. This is actually support for Flatpak. So if you have Flatpaks installed, do I have any? I think I have one. Color picker is probably from Flatpak, or let's check it out. App details. I guess it is from Flatpak. Yeah, as you can see, it is from Flatpak. So if I open color picker, it's actually using a different theme. I did not change it, so it's not going to look good. As you can see, it's using a different theme. If I change the theme from here, like if I apply the Everforest Dark B theme and launch this. Now you know it looks weird, the shell theme. I'm going to talk about that later. Let us launch this app first. So it's still not applied. Now if I apply the same theme, if I change to Advaita, as you can see Advaita is not present, so you can't change to the default theme in the version 1.2, but right now you can do it easily by clicking Advaita from here and applying the theme. Okay, now if I just change this, before that go to settings and turn this on, go to theme and change this to Everforest Dark B and apply it. It's going to ask for the password. I have to enter the password over here. And if I open color picker again, it should have applied the Everforest theme. As you can see, the Everforest theme is applied to this Flatpak application also. Looks great. Okay, the next feature that I included is you might want to edit Advaita theme. Okay, I'll just turn this feature off because I have to enter the password else every time. Okay, the next feature is actually a little bit interesting. You might want to edit the default shell of GNOME. In the previous version, if you try to do the editing, for example, like here, I'm trying to edit the shell theme, it's actually giving an error because you can't edit it, because only locally installed themes can be edited. Similarly, in this version you also get the same error, but what you can do is just go here and choose this option for making the default shell theme editable. And if you go to continue and just make a copy of the shell theme, maybe Advaita copy like it is suggesting. Oh, we already have a copy of that, so let's name it different. Advaita new. Done. Now let's change the shell theme to Advaita new, and as you can see, the applied shell theme is just the same as the applied default theme of GNOME. Now if you click here, you can actually edit all the components over here. And now if y'all think this feature is great, do comment down below, then I'll implement it for GTK3 and for themes as well if possible. Now one nice use case for this feature I'm going to show you. Just apply the Everforest Dark B and you will notice some really weird things happening over here. So what you can actually do is create a mod of this theme, maybe Everforest Dark B mod. Let's change the name, new video. Since I'm making for this purpose of video, I already probably have a mod version of Everforest Dark B. Let's shorten the name too. Let's make it EDB new video. So I'll just go and click this one, which is the Advaita new, and I'll just click on create theme and it creates the theme. I'll change it from here, and as you can see, it's over here, the EDB new video, and apply. And the shell theme applied is the default shell theme of GNOME. Now if you go to the shell, the problem is fixed, but again you are left with another problem to solve. That is basically the default shell theme, which is a mismatch to the current applied GTK theme. Now you might be clever and just choose a wallpaper that is similar to green. Let's go for this one and just turn on adaptive colors, which is going to apply the colors everywhere, and also it is going to change the color of the shell theme. But what you will notice that it actually doesn't change the color everywhere. The shell pretty much retains the saturation-less user interface, which you might not like, especially when it already has a bit of flair of the color in the default user interface. So a possible solution to this problem would be just editing the colors of the shell theme. And let us try to solve the problem that we were originally having, which is the colors not changing in adaptive theming. And that is because it is using pure gray inside the GNOME shell. Most of the colors are like that. I mentioned it in the GNOME 46 review video. You can go and check it out from the I button above. Okay, let's just turn on use filter, and as you can see, all the colors are selected. So I'll just now tweak the hue value and select all the colors which have the hue value of 0. Similarly, you can change the saturation value by selecting all the colors with 0 saturation, and I can just go to HSV adjustment part and change the saturation with a factor, for example 1.4. So as I increase it, you can see all the colors are now coming up, like the red is showing more right now. So I can even change it further using the saturation level, and I can deselect all the colors which already have kind of a visible amount of saturation or color to them. For example, all of these red parts deselected, and let's go to HSV adjustment and let's again increase the saturation with the factor value. So again, we have some colors which are now visible colors. We can just change them. This is actually a very rough video, so I'm not really thinking about anything when I'm selecting and changing the colors. Again, we can go back to HSV adjustment and adjust the saturation factor using something like 1.5. I forgot to deselect this, which is why it looks weird. So it will take quite some time if you want to tweak all the stuff over here, but right now I'm pretty much satisfied with the results we have inside this. And let us apply this theme and see how it looks like. So I'll just turn off the filter mode back to normal, and I will apply it for the system. So as you can see, the colors are applied properly, and even over here we have the red value coming up very well. And I think that should be working for the rest of the stuff. Even if we try to power off, we get the same hue over here. Right now, what we can do, we can just turn on the adaptive mode and see if it works for the shell theme. So let us just turn it on, and yeah, it turns on. And as you can see, it also works for the shell theme right now. It uses the same color that is getting used in the background, and it doesn't look weird like we have had in the previous Everforest shell theme. So it looks pretty nice. Okay, now you got all the colors nicely done, but right now you really want to make a little bit of change over here. So I'll just turn off the adaptive mode and head over to the new theme creation. So let's create a new modded theme of the EDB new video theme. I know the name is weird, but yeah, let's get going with whatever we have. So this will be our theme, and I'm going to go to advanced mode for editing this theme. So advanced mode, and as you can see, it's a new mode which has been added over here, and you can literally transfer any design from one shell theme to the other. For example, in the GNOME shell theme, so we are currently using the EDB new video. I don't really want that. I want to copy the stuff that is there in the original version of Everforest Dark B. So I'll just select that, and I want to change the top bar. So I'll just click on top bar, and I'm going to replace variable from here, which is going to do the job. And if I save it, it does all the work. Let's go back from here, and I'm going to apply the modded theme that I just created. So here we have the mod theme. Apply, and as you can see, it uses the Everforest top bar, but At the same time, it's actually using the GNOME shell theme. So it's using the GNOME shell theme, but the top bar has been modified to Everforest Dark B. Right now, again, you can just turn on adaptive color and it is just going to look fine. Here we go. Adaptive colors turned on, the top bar is getting used from the Everforest Dark B, and the rest of the shell theme is using the default version of GNOME shell. And again, you can change this portion too. It looks pretty bright for me, so I'll just turn off the adaptive mode and go back to shell theme, and I'm going to just select all the bright colors that we have over here. Pretty simple. I'm just going to select a high saturation value so that all the dull colors are selected, and I'm just going to invert it. Done. So I'll just deselect some of the colors from here. Okay, and select some of the brighter colors too, and that is all done. And I'm just going to go to HSV adjustment and change the saturation factor value to 0.5, which is going to do all the work for me. Now I can also change the value from here. Right now it's using this one. Value is looking nice, but we can actually reduce the value a little bit so that it has better contrast. So I can just go and change the value factor by 0.7, which is going to reduce the value a little bit. So again, we can go for a 0.8 saturation value, and I think it looks pretty nice, but I guess we can increase the value by a little bit so that it looks better. Okay, looks pretty fine to me. Apply system, and again change the theme, and obviously I can just turn on adaptive mode and it is going to use it just fine. And as you can see, the saturation is reduced and the value is also slightly reduced over here, so it looks much better. You get kind of those pastel effect, and I would have preferred a little bit lesser value, but okay, it's fine. Okay, next we have some changes in the icon section. There's a new revert button, so if you want, you can apply a theme from here. For example, the Everforest Dark I applied, and as you can see, the icons are now getting used from the Everforest Dark. If you want to revert back to the original theme, you can just click over here and it's going to revert back to normal. Right now, I guess I forgot to do the change over here, so I have to do it later. Yeah, and I think that is all for the major features of Evolve. Right now we have some more changes, but they are not really major changes, and actually they are some UI changes. Let us change to a different wallpaper and see how the adaptive theming works. So yeah, looks fine, and it also applies for the other apps. For example, we have here this GTK4 app, which is using the correct colors. Similarly, you can open software. Software is not changed as of now because you have to log out and log back in order to see all the changes in the entirety of GTK4 system. Even if you open settings, it is applied properly. There's a problem with the theme actually, which is why it is causing this issue as of now, but yeah, you can't really do much about it. It's a problem in the theme, it's not a problem of the app. Okay, here we have the settings window, and a small change that is done is the entire app is kind of made adaptive now. So if I make this smaller, the sidebar now contracts and becomes like this. So you can click it in order to access the sidebar, and I can click outside in order to go back to the original view. So I can go to about, other sections, similarly. And even over here, if I just make it larger, you can see the reset button coming to the center, and it again follows the GNOME style as of now. It tries to mimic. So if I make it larger, it stops at some point and gives the centered view like you get in the settings page of GNOME. Next we have the about page, where we have some changes too. So it is also made adaptive. So as you can see, I can increase it, decrease it, and the UI elements adapt themselves accordingly. Pretty cool. The same goes for the icons. Some changes are done over here, so it looks better on smaller screens. Similarly, in the theme section, if you make it really small, you will see the album part changing to single view. That is a list view over here. And again, if you make it larger, it changes accordingly. Previously, it wasn't really possible, so if you open the older version of Evolve, the minimum size of the app was also not really done well, so it looked like this. Pretty bad shape. It has all been fixed, and right now you have a nice little minimum size for the app also. You can't really make the app smaller than that. Finally, we have this reset settings button. Previously, it was delete system data file or something like that, delete account data, as much as I remember. Right now, you have this reset settings button. I think it is more understandable right now. So if I click on reset settings, it is actually going to close the app on its own, because it otherwise it often causes problem. So I'll just click it, and in a few seconds Evolve will close automatically. And if you reopen Evolve, you'll again get this thing, which is the start animation like we had previously. So that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Do like, share and subscribe. I hope you all liked this release of Evolve, and if you think this app is a nice addition to the Linux community, do check out my Patreon page in order to support me and to help me make more amazing progress in the open source community. Thank you so much for watching again, and I'll catch you in the next one.